It's the NFL on EA Sports as we are in the inner harbor of Baltimore at M&T Bank Stadium. Coming up, well, we've got what can only be described as a mirror image matchup, as it'll be the Baltimore Ravens and themselves. Justin Tucker set to boom this one away. And off we go from M&T Bank Stadium.
That return, it will not be on the postseason highlight reel. If you're the offensive coordinator, you've just changed your play calling because you thought you had some field to work with. Instead, now, you've got to call plays that won't make mistakes.
They'll start on the ground with Dobbins. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Well, you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. Throwing is Jackson. Sliding out of the pocket. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be 2nd down. And that is something that we just saw there that you obviously have to be prepared for when you try to defend Lamar Jackson. That likely will not be the last time that we see him take off.
I love your language there, partner. You have to be prepared for it. You work at it. But I don't care how much you prepare, it is hard as heck to execute against Lamar Jackson. Great vision, great speed, tenacity, runs through tackles, makes people miss. It's always a long game when you're trying to corral Lamar Jackson.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. That one good for 13 and a Raven first down. And now Jackson will look to throw it. Eluding the pressure right. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at 2nd down. Well, you know, paramount for this defense is trying to keep Lamar Jackson somewhat contained when he tries to run. They did a pretty good job of it there.
And you know it's so difficult for every defense that has to prepare for Lamar Jackson? You have to think and play at the same time. And I know that sounds like something you're supposed to do, but when you have to think about your assignments against him, it often slows down your feet. You don't move as fast. You've got to be prepared for this guy every step of the way and then try and match his athleticism.
On 3rd down, Jackson flushed out right. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first.
He's a talented runner, and that means he's always looking for bigger and bigger gains when he takes off. Certainly found some bonus yards there beyond the first down marker, and this early drive will continue with that extra jolt from his legs.
They'll throw on 1st down with Jackson, forced out to his left. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. From midfield now, here's Jackson. Escaping the pressure right. Now on the run, he'll throw it back deep over the middle. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
And that might have been a situation where even though you don't hit on the deep throw, you at least put in the defenders' minds early in the game that we're going to press the ball deep against your secondary. And that can have a ripple effect on how they function throughout.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Rashad Bateman, 50 yards. And the Ravens put the Knights' first points on the board as they take the early lead. Quite the drive there to get things started. They took up the bulk of the first quarter, and they end up in the end zone.
And I love your last point. Ended up in the end zone. Because a lot of teams like those long drives, especially to keep their offense off the field, right? Keep the ball away from them. But they finished it with a touchdown. That's the exclamation point. Now flip it over defensively. They've got to slow that down somehow, right? Maybe they need to be a little more aggressive. Maybe a few more pressures towards the quarterback.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. From his end zone, here comes Justice Hill. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 21. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And that's caught inside the 35. So the big play has him all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. Jackson now. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Raven football here as we begin quarter number 2. As they've got it with a 1st and 10. Here's Jackson to throw. And that'll be taken in by Andrews for a Ravens touchdown. From 17 yards out. And the Ravens are an extra point away from evening this one up. Their first passing touchdown of the ball game, and they go to the big tight end in those sure hands, and he provides the score.
Certainly looked like they were focused on taking away other weapons, and he certainly made them regret that because he found the soft spot, ended up taking it to the end zone. Nice throw, too, to complete the play.
Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. Hill is going to take it out of the end zone. And running with power here. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And that last touchdown drive, a good mix of pass and run. Defensively, they just looked a little out of whack.
And it's so hard to stay up with an offense that has things going so well, where you're guessing and guessing wrong play after play. So what you need is someone on the defensive side of the ball
leader, right?
to make a big play.
Yeah.
Throw that balance out of whack. That's what you're looking for now. Not worrying so much about guessing what the play call is.
Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. 2nd and 10. Jackson rolling to his right. Looking deep here for Flowers. And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in.
And this was a little bit of the knock on him coming out of college. Sometimes the concentration could wander a bit. This should have been a big play, but somehow he's not able to corral it.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. To throw is Jackson. Flush to his right. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's Jackson. He'll find Dobbins out of the backfield. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. 2nd down in the yard. Now it's Jackson. Eluding the pressure right. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Jadamian Clowney, he's the one who runs him down, and my goodness, that is just a disastrous loss for this offense. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Flushed out right. He throws it on the move, but can't connect as that falls incomplete.
Now that's a good bounce back after giving up a touchdown on the opening drive. Just 1 first down permitted and then out. Obviously no loss of confidence with that defense, and now they get to turn it back to their offense.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles' defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind.
And looking for Andrews, but this is intercepted. Picked up by Marcus Williams. And the Ravens will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line.
At their own 45-yard line.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at the 45. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Kyle Hamilton picks it. And they will finally stop him as he's down to the 40-yard line. Now their defense got him the football with an interception. They trot out there, Charles, in the very first play. They give the football right back.
Brandon, I almost expect you coming like an auctioneer. We've got 2, we got 2. Do I hear 3? Remember, it was 2 in a row. Would we hit 3 in a row? Because these offenses, they got to be a little bit more careful as they go forward. These defenders.
Yeah, man, it's caught inside the 10. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Nelson Aguilar, 40 yards. And the Ravens have taken the lead. It took them a while to get their speedster involved, but they found him downfield there.
And what we've discovered as we've watched games is the speedster doesn't have to have a lot of catches, doesn't have to have volume in order to have a huge impact on the game. His speed scares the heck out of defenses, and other guys can capitalize, but when you finally hit him and he carries it all the way into the end zone, that's what you're paying him for. That big threat that can make big plays on a limited number of catches.
That's how you step on the stage with your first catch, take it to the house. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Now Jackson on first down. Escaping the pressure right.
Oh, poor decision there, and it's going to be intercepted. Picked up by Brandon Stevens.
And the Ravens will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line. After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. Now Jackson. Flush to his right.
They set up the screen for Dobbins. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore first down.
And this pass rush has really been bringing the heat and has already gotten home a few times here in the first half. So how about the play call there? Sometimes if you can't protect, you've got to fool them. Screen passes like that can take a little steam out of what's been a relentless rush so far.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now it's Jackson. Eluding the pressure right. That's caught. It's Flowers. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. Jackson on first down, rolling to his left. And he's going to go down, sacked back at the 13-yard line. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Jackson. He'll buy some time right. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
I know he was trying to get the completion downfield, but the way this game has gone, with a few of the runs he's made along the way, he should have kept the ball and taken it with his feet downfield.
And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it. Looking to throw. Jackson. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Ravens go for it, but come up empty. And the Ravens are going to get the football back. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
And they're not going to go quietly into this halftime break. They know they're in for a fight, so they're trying to make every possession count. They took the big shot there, but it winds up incomplete.
This one into the hands of Aguilar. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. A one-touchdown ball game, 14-7 our scores. We get back at it on EA Sports.
Hill is going to take it out of the end zone. And they will be backed up deep. Trouble here as they're going to start this drive at the 6.
Anytime you feel the kickoff inside your own end zone, you've got to be decisive about whether you're bringing it out or not. Sometimes that indecision can really cost you. That may have been what happened on that play.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going.
This offense set to begin the third quarter. And, Charles, if they had a checklist of things they wanted to accomplish in the first half, certainly at the top of that list would be having the lead, and they've got that here.
That's always the most important box to check, isn't it? But also, they've had some success in their passing game, so probably an empty.
Over the middle, and there's a diving catch. And he's dropped just shy of the 25 at the 24. On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. And they're going to speed things up here.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10. And a pretty good burst there as he'll get this across midfield and down to the 46.
A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last two plays. So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 46.
They're looking deep here for Flowers. That is incomplete.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender. Couldn't create space, couldn't uncover at the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
Looking for Aguilar, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by Arthur Mallett. And the Ravens are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line.
So it was a drive that had real promise here to begin the third quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in, coming out to start this third quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone. Possibly got a little bit too greedy right there.
After the interception, here's Jackson. Flushed out right.
And he was able to shed one tackle but could not get away from there.
Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. On 2nd down, Jackson escaping the pressure right. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him.
Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
They're looking deep here for Flowers. Oh, the turnover fest continues. Here's another interception. Kyle Hamilton picks it, and the Ravens will take over here just shy of the 30.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
Not an ideal way to end their previous drive. They threw the interception, Charles, after they had built up some momentum. They were moving the football, but something to at least build on for this offense as they run back out here.
Yeah, you're right about that. Up until that last play, everything was working pretty well for this offense, gaining chunks of yardage, getting first downs, really making a push for the end zone, and looked like they had a nice rhythm going. Now you got to have a short.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line.
So turnovers, Charles, you figure will be key in the second half, and that's a big giveaway there.
Yeah, and as you and I both know, coaches are always preaching ball security, and none more often than right here in the second half of a tight football game. Now you've got to believe what the coaches are saying and take care of that football.
And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. And now they're in the hurry-up.
A loss of 2.
Now Jackson on 2nd down. That's out to Hill, right side complete. So the completion good for just 3. And that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9. Back to throw. Jackson. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted.
Picked off by Arthur Mallett.
And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Throwing to start the drive. Jackson. And this is going to be hauled in by the tight end Andrews. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. It'll be 1st and goal when we come back. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Baltimore. It's the Ravens in control of the football. They've also got the lead as we get set for the 4th. They'll try to run it in, going option right. And he probably should have given that one off as he's going to get hit and taken down behind the line. On 2nd down, a run with Dobbins. They'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. J.K. Dobbins, a 6-yard touchdown run. And the Ravens have opened up a 2-touchdown lead here in this 4th quarter. We talk so often about how hard it is to win in the NFL when you turn the ball over, and here a late turnover leads to a 4th quarter touchdown and a 2-score lead.
And what's more important is being able to take advantage when a turnover presents itself. You've got to come up with points to make the other guy pay. They're able to do so here, and they've got a pretty good chance now of winning this football game.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and it's now 21-7.
Ravens 7. Justin Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
Ready?
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. Off the play fake. Here's Jackson.
They're looking deep here for Flowers.
That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
And they're at the point of the ball game now where they've got to take some chances. They've got to put the ball in the air and just see what happens. But this defense knows that all too well.
Throwing is Jackson. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Arthur Maulet. This spot in the 4th quarter with that deficit, had to throw the football. Unfortunately, there's the risk of big turnover.
And you know you're going to be throwing against nickel, dime, all sorts of exotic defenses, but you have to do it anyway. Ordinarily, you might want to run the football a little bit, try and get them out of it. But as you noted, this time of the game, this point on the clock, had to throw it.
They'll run with Dobbins.
Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
On 2nd and goal, here's the option.
And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Lamar Jackson keeping it himself from 8 yards out.
And the Ravens have put this one to bed here in the 4th quarter. Well, this defense, so many things to worry about in the red zone area, but you'd have to almost think that Lamar Jackson running the football, that might be number one.
It should be number one, and in this portion of the field where things shrink a little bit because the receivers can't run past anyone because they'll run out of real estate, you should have all eyes on Lamar Jackson when the ball is snapped and try and keep him back in the pocket.
Yeah, I don't think that they were surprised he was running it there. They just couldn't stop him, and he ends up in the end zone. Hill is going to take it out of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
At their own 19-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
The Ravens on third down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd down and 12. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Here we go. It's Jackson on 4th down.
Looking deep here for Flowers.
And oh my goodness, here's a 5th interception.
Kyle Hamilton picks it, and the Ravens are going to get the ball back on the turnover as they hold on 4th down.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going.
And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable fourth quarter lead.
Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
Well, he's had success running the football in this one. Yeah, that's undeniable. But that time, the defense was on to it.
And, partner, I think the more you see a play like this, the more they're able to diagnose it quicker and easier for them to defend it. I think you have to dress it up.
And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. Here's Jackson on 3rd and long, being chased out left. Jackson hit, and he lost the football.
Oh, and one of the linebackers has got it.
So they've got the football, and they'll start right on the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line.
Go.
Option play, and they'll hand to Dobbins.
And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Now they got to get to the line quickly.
A gain of 12 yards. He was brought down at the 8-yard line.
Right back to Dobbins on 1st.
And he is going to lose yardage here. So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's 2nd and goal.
2nd and goal.
Operating from the gun, Jackson. They'll roll him out right.
And this one too low.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
3rd and goal, Jackson. Flush to his right. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
There's Flowers. He's got it. Touchdown, Ravens.
An 11-yard touchdown.
And the Ravens have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th.
And that touchdown puts us in a position to have a discussion, doesn't it? Now it'll be a two-score game after the conversion.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt with a two-score game they're going to have to onside kick it. We'll just see if they've got a miracle up their sleeve.
And you wonder what onside kicks they're going to use and in what sequence if they hope to have a chance to win this game.
Throwing, Jackson.
This is caught. Was he in? Yes. 2 points. And, of course, on the two-point try, had the option to run or pass. They pass it there, and it works.
Felt pretty straightforward, didn't it? An open receiver, ball's put on him, 2 points for them.
So 2 scores down. Time definitely not an ally, but here comes the onside kick. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game.
Another run on second down, trying to cover up.
And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. And quickly they get to the line.
5 points of contact necessary at this stage as they'll run on first down.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown.
J.K. Dobbins with now 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns. And the Ravens tack on another score as they have dominated this fourth quarter.
Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
Jackson and the Ravens still on the field. They'll go for 2. And they'll try to run it in with Dobbins.
And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line.
Ravens 34, Ravens 15.
The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this fourth quarter of play. Yeah, the touchdown apparently wasn't enough. They're going to go for the onside kick here. And this one recovered by the hand. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. Fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And they finally put an end to this return, but not before he's all the way down to the 37. Well, all I can do up here is just shake my head. I mean, 6 interceptions. I cannot imagine what he's thinking between the ears right now.
Well, just think of how it is for his teammates, because after the first few, you know they're going over to him, hey, we'll get them next time. Now they're probably a little bit frustrated. And if you're a receiver, you're thinking to yourself, any ball that's in the air, you become receiver and defensive back. You got to go compete for the ball so that you don't get another one picked off.
So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory.
Well, Charles, I mean, when you look at the stat sheet, ultimately one thing sticks out like a sore thumb. One side lost this game because they turned the ball over 4 times, and that was just too much for them to overcome.
And that number might as well be in neon, because you're exactly right. It just jumps up from the stat sheet. Your eyes go right to it. And with that many turnovers, they really played themselves out of this game. 2 careless